Hey everybody, so first let me just get this out of the way. I found this at Target and it's awesome. Snoopy cup. It's Snoopy. The other thing I want to talk to you about is that I found my teeth. Now, you might say to yourself, Heath, why is there a hole in the side right there? Well, I will tell you. When I was getting my braces and all this business was taken, I had a baby tooth on the side and it had to be pulled and it had an implant put in. So this was sort of a transitional period. But what I find interesting is that I have an implant. I have a thing that was not originally part of my mouth that is now in there. And it's titanium and it's permanent and if I go through an MRI, it'll be ripped out of my mouth. That's bad. I'm never going to do that. So, blah blah blah. It kind of sucks because I actually wanted to have an MRI. I don't know why. It just fascinated me. But so now I have this thing, and it gets me thinking because it's sort of like a flawless tooth. It will never get cavities. And what if your whole mouth was made of those? Well, then you could eat all the candy you wanted. Except for diabetes. But either way, you've got this thing, and it's interesting to think about because it's sort of like if I had a mouth full of these, right, I would have perfect teeth. So that would seem weird, I think. I think I'd rather have imperfect. I'd rather have slightly just interesting in its own way. Like, you don't want chiclets like dentures. You want teeth, like real teeth. Maybe not like some mangled teeth, but just teeth. And there's something about that. There's something about having imperfections and flaws and things that are different and unique and special. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, a brand new BMW would probably be really comfortable to ride in and really nice and everything would work and that's awesome. But sometimes I really enjoy being in an old Datsun like I have. Like, there's just interesting things and, you know, some things wiggle more. Like, I had this old Jeep, right? And the key, while you were driving down the road, you could just pull it out of the ignition and just set it on the dash if you wanted, or put it in your pocket or whatever, and it would still run. And that was so cool. So I never even used the key ever, which is probably a bad idea, but I could just start it up and with just the little wings that stuck out on the side, and that's it. That's all I needed to start the car. No key, really. And that was kind of cool. I thought that was really an interesting thing about this Jeep that made it special, made it mine. And there's another one I found that had a push button starter like a tractor, and that's not even hard to install, but it was there, and so it just felt like a really special thing about it. And even if the car was a piece of crap, it didn't matter because it was special, it was mine. So things in life, I think people they put perfection up on this little pedestal that it just doesn't belong on. Like, it's not necessarily the best thing. Trying your best, sure, with tasks. But that doesn't mean it has to be perfect. That's, I think, why I'm so drawn to artists of any kind, is because they're creative and things aren't perfect. I'll admit I have some OCD tendencies, but for the most part, I enjoy things having their own little special place and not being perfect, and that's kind of neat. Having said that, IKEA is boss, but you can make that fun. So either way, it's cool. Imperfections, I find them fascinating, and I think if we all sort of took a step back and quit trying to make everything perfect, we could really enjoy some of the things that we have, whether it's food or family or material things or just whatever. I think we could really enjoy one another if we accept that things are imperfect, and that can be really good. So on that note, if any of you have any interesting stories about something that was not perfect or quote-unquote deemed flawed by other people, I'd love to hear about it. Like, if it's a car, if it's your favorite mug, or if it's, I don't know, a tree that happened to grow around a fence post or something. Just whatever it is. Oh, speaking of trees, here's a picture of a tree that just started growing at a 90-degree angle, and I have no idea why, but it's the coolest thing ever, and this is my neighbor standing on top of it. So there it is. Okay. Anyway, send me the stories or send them in the comments. I don't care, whatever. And yeah, see you guys later. So P.S. to any of you that really care, I don't know how many of you do, I didn't mean to leave such a big gap from the last video to this one, but I had this, like, a zit really close to the edge of my mouth and it bugged me, and I didn't want that to be on camera. And then I kept picking at it, and it just hasn't really healed all the way yet, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But anyway, I've decided not to give a shit because flaws. So bam, we come full circle, and goodbye.